Hey YouTube, Kiratwig here, bringing you guys an update to my Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck collection for June 2016. Been a couple months since my last deck collection video, and I was actually getting some requests to do an updated version. Don't do it too often, but I figured now would be the best time than ever, just because I did get a few different decks, traded some decks, so some from the old video are gone, got some new ones. So without further ado, let's get started. Start things off with the Performer Pal deck. This is actually the deck that I update the most of all my deck profiles lately, just because they get a lot of support from the new Star Deck Yugioh to the new booster packs every set that they get supported. So basically, I really like playing this deck. My girlfriend also has a Performer Pal deck, which I built her. We do a lot of mirror matches. They're a lot of fun, just the pendulum summoning. So probably one deck that I'll definitely be holding on to, especially, like I said, with all the new different support I'll be getting. Next up is Fluffles. Built this deck when new challengers came out. It's evolved a lot since then. It was a pretty popular video at the time. I remember when they were called For Animals, and then they became Fluffles, so kind of had that to go off of it there. But I like the playstyle. Fusion summoning is a lot of fun, especially with this deck since you have a lot of different fusion monsters to go into. Basically, I would say maybe the Elemental Heroes for the Arc V series, but from cute to, scary animals, it's definitely an interesting deck to play. Next up, we have Super Heavy Samurais. I actually have also gotten some requests for an update on this deck. Definitely looking forward to the level 5 synchro that we'll be getting for this deck. The pendulum scales were also cool, more so for the effects of each individual pendulum card and not so much for pendulum summoning. But we've got a wide variety of synchro monsters for this deck as well, and the whole no spell and trap cards effect really, piqued my interest. Next up, we have Odd Eyes Magicians. This deck kind of got hit on the ban list with, is his name? Oh, he's popping up sooner or later. Or maybe he's not. There he is, yeah. When Wisdom Eye went to 1, this deck kind of got hit. But I still like the playstyle. I might update it to the Magespecter version soon, just because that seems to be the play to go. But with Synchro, Exceed, and Fusion plays in this deck, and Pendulum Summoning as well, it's one of the decks that I did like using at locals a lot when it was at full power. I just like the pop effects, the special summon effects, just a wide variety of plays. Up next, we have Morphtronics. This is my favorite way to get out Quasar Dragon, Shooting Quasar Dragon. I'm having a terrible time with names today, but it's easy to get out Quasar. Lots of other Morphtronics. Cellphon's a lot of fun to get off of. Had this deck for a long time, ever since 5D, so it's one of my oldest decks that I have in my collection. Let's go next. We'll go with my Clifford deck. Built this deck at least 4 times, gotten rid of it, remade it. Right now it is the Demise Cliffords. It's what I use at locals now. There are a lot of Monarch players at my locals, so I didn't want to be one of the ones to play Monarch, but I thought this deck, would be very fun, which I do enjoy playing this deck. It's different from the Cliffords I used to play, but that's why I also have the full side as well with it. Continue to play it. I don't know if they're going to hit Card Demise on the next ban list, if it's going to be the 6th Sense for this ban list, but we'll see. Until then, I'll continue to use this deck, and hopefully maybe we'll see some Cliffords come off the list as well. Where are we going to now? I've got Speedroids next. With Speedroids, basically, got a lot of requests to remake this deck ever since my last update. Actually had to re-put the deck back together. I did like the deck, but with the support that first came out in High Speed Riders, it just wasn't enough. But we got plenty of new synchros like Puzzle, Hygoda, and Crystal Wing is really good in the deck as well. So that really helped the pressure for the deck, because you can make a lot of synchro plays, but you had to basically sit on those monsters until then. All right, moving on, we have Despots, another deck that I rebuilt upon request of my fans. Ever since we got 9 in base, I've liked how this deck played a lot more. The field spell is really good for making plays with this deck, and you can have a lot of different synchro plays as well, and pendulum plays, just with 5 through 8, and 1 through 4 for the effect monsters. Moving along, I got a request from my girlfriend, Marissa, to have Fables be part of the collection. Helped her build this deck. It's one of the decks that she really likes to play. We also have a video of her deck collection on our channel, which I'll have in the description down below to check out. But it's also a deck that we share. It's a lot of fun. The discard effect, Fables never miss timing. I've built Fables multiple times, ended up giving this deck to her just because she likes synchro summon. It's her favorite type of summoning. She really enjoys decks that synchro summon, so she got a lot of use out of this. She really likes the Reagan plays, and we're hoping to one day turn it into the Quasar build for her. Moving right along, we have Fire Fists. I was always a fan of the level 3 version of Fire Fists, just because I like synchro plays as well. Horse Prince was really broke. I built this a while back when they first came out, but we only had Spirit for a week, and then he got banned. Not banned, but put to 1. So I was pretty disappointed by that. Really cut in on the power of the deck, but ever since now it's at full power, I enjoy using the level 3 version. All right, next we have Magespecters, my most recent deck profile. I like the pure build. It does go off most of the time, but there are plays sometimes where you just aren't as consistent with this deck as you can be. Maybe we'll update it to the Magician form one of these days, but I still am a fan of the pure variant. And then next we have Blue Eyes. I did not expect me to get this deck. I actually ended up trading my Phantom Knights to a friend for this deck. He wanted to build Phantom Knights. I really wasn't looking to play Phantom Knights anymore locals, so he traded me this. Pretty excited for the new support for this deck. We'll see how it does. The support we're getting in July for the movie really helps boost the power of this deck. And I know a lot of people are also big fans of Blue Eyes. And now we have DDDs. I was looking forward to the support that this deck was getting in July, but sadly they moved that back. So it looks like we're not going to be seeing too many synchro plays for DDDs. That's one thing I really wanted. So basically we have to stick with the Exceed and Max Change and Fusion DDDs. I really wanted a version where you can summon all, forms of DDD monsters, including pendulum summoning. I just really like decks that can, get out every type of summoning. I think it's, a really unique playstyle when a deck can do that. And now we have my Watt family deck. This is another deck that I've had for a while. This deck, I've used it up until Shockmaster was banned at locals, just because you get 3 Shockmaster out and you can pretty much shut down your opponent. But now with Shockmaster being banned, this deck kind of lost some of that power. I still like to play it every so often. I go for the Paladynamo plays with that deck. And now we have YangZing. I was really hoping this deck could get more support. It's why I held onto it. Maybe just some more extra deck play, or maybe another spell or trap to help with it. The Zephyrs were cool, but I felt like the deck still needed a little more for it to be consistent. Because if you can shut down special summoning, you can shut down this deck, which is one reason I don't play it as much as I would like to. Now we have Raid Raptors. This is one deck I was really, excited to play, just because I'm a big fan of Ultimate Falcon, the big hitter. Once you get him out, he's really difficult to get over, and a lot of different Exceed plays. No, it's probably a bad play, but I always like to go for 3 Force Strix first turn, and then my opponent Regekis the Force Strix, so that botched my play. But I can get a lot of searches off as well, which is what I thought was really cool, just to get that combo off. And now we have my Naturia deck, my favorite deck, and probably one I'm never going to get rid of, just because I originally built this deck for my sister for Yu-Gi-Oh! When she was still kind of into the game. But in the end, she ended up, not really showing much interest in it, so she said I could, just keep the deck. And I used it at locals for a good amount of time, back when the meta was still kind of slow. Bamboo Shoot, a lot of people thought that was annoying. A lot of people tried to torrential my Bamboo Shoot at times, but when he hits the field, no more spell and trap. So I always like locking my opponent down. And now we have Evil Swarms. Made this deck when the dual terminal was still a thing. Had this deck early on just because of the dual terminal cards, and it was cool because my locals let me play this deck even though the cards weren't officially legal, because people also wanted to play test against it just because of upcoming meta with the deck. So it was like a win-win for both. I got to use the deck and people got to play test against it. And now we have more phages. Still have to play this deck. We got some requests to do dual videos with this deck, but it is a lot. It's an interesting concept, locking down your opponent through means of every type of summoning. So hopefully I can, test around with this some more. I gave a deck profile, which is out for you guys to look at. But like I said, I still need to play test it a little bit more myself as well. And now we have Ignites. Tried this at locals a couple times, but with Wavering Eyes being a thing, I stopped doing that because everyone at my locals just mained Wavering Eyes. Built it though because it was easy enough. Everyone had Templars, and the rest of the deck was another Pendulum deck at the time. I think it was like the next big one after Cliff Orts. So I wanted to try out just more Pendulum variant decks. And now we have Sotelo Nights, another deck that just came to me basically through means of other people. Picked this deck up from someone at locals. They wanted some cards from my binder, and basically picked up the deck and had it ever since. So if a lot of the decks that I use aren't for trade, but this one probably might be if I can mean adding another card to my collection. I tried it once, but it just wasn't for me. So it's just the type of deck that sticks in the collection. And now we have Gem Knights. I really like that this deck got support after a big gap between decks, but hoping we can get some more maybe fusion support for the deck. Other than that, Brilliant Fusion is really good. You can get a lot of fusion summons off with it, and I also like that we got Brilliant Diamond. Her special summon effect really surprised a lot of people that said you can get out her and then another big monster Zirconia in one turn. We're winding down with the decks now. Next up is Gish Keys. I really rocked my locals a lot with this deck. Even won Yu-Gi-Oh! Day once, winning the Ojama playmat. So I swore that day that I'd only use the Ojama playmat with this deck because it won it. Beat Prophecies in the top two. I'm always going to remember that day just because I had a lot of fun playing it. I played a lot of different decks as well. So this is another deck, along with Naturia, is probably in my top two favorites that I'll never get rid of. And another one of my newer decks are Lunalights. Actually finished mine after my girlfriend, Marissa, finished her Lunalights. She really likes the deck. She plays it a lot on DevPro. She's a big fan of First Turn Leo Dancer. Once she gets that out, it's really difficult to get over it. We're also waiting for, what's the name of the...
Crimson Fox?
Yeah, Crimson Fox is really good because it reduces your opponent down to 0. So when we get that for this deck, it's going to be another really good addition. Means killer plays, especially with Leo Dancer who can attack twice. And we also have, started off with the Swift Scarecrow, but these are Lavals. Another deck that I held on to, like Watt Family, because the deck got hit. I'm hoping one day maybe it can make a comeback because Rekindling's at 1, and the Quasar play could be a thing again. And for the last deck, we have Melodious, another fusion deck that I hope to one day get more support. It's got 3 fusions right now. I really like the fusion concept of the deck. It first started off as a tribute deck, but I like the idea of fusion summoning with the deck more. And I've tried it out in a lot of different fusion mirror matches, and once I get Bloom Diva out, I really like sticking on that. But other than that, it's a deck once again that I really enjoy, especially when I go up against fusion users. Not too strong against the meta, but I still enjoy the deck a lot. And with that, we've reached the end of the deck collection video. I hope you guys enjoyed my little narration of every deck. And also, I want you to comment if you like down below on what your favorite deck is, what decks your collection is comprised of. And once again, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and Kiratwig out.